What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy with Trading Decoded, and it is 12:02 in the afternoon. Had some technical difficulties today. Comcast decided that my internet was just going to stop working right around 9:47 this morning. So I have not been able to record any additional session from today, although you do get to hear our opening trade, which in my case ended up producing a 23.5% win in about 10 minutes. 2 minutes after that, they gained an additional 20% in value, which I was not part of. A little frustrated by that because there was absolutely no reason for me to get out of my trade when I did, other than I didn't want to be greedy. And truthfully, I looked at my P&L, which made me happy, but it also said, happy's good, take yourself out of the trade. Whereas if I was just paying attention to the chart only, there would have been no reason for me to get out of the trade when I did. And you will hear my explanation of such throughout the entirety of that trade, even after I get out of it. But the reason I'm going to show you guys this is to show you that at the time I took this screenshot, it was 10:23 in the morning, as you could see down here in the corner. Oh, wait, I'm in your way. See down here in the corner? And then the last candle that printed on our chart was at 9:47. Now, I don't think anybody's going to tell me I'm lying about my internet going out, but at this point, it is also now 12:04 and I am still without internet. So I'm just making my video instead. So you guys, this is the only video I'm going to have for today because I had no charts after 9:47 this morning. Yeah, so go ahead, watch the clip, enjoy, and I hope you find some value in it. I'll see you after the thing. Yeah, just watch. Well, guess what time it is, people? It's 9:25, and with 9:25 comes our ever so fun and exciting call put scenario. Now today I have learned that we have very, very low volume in the market. That does not bode well for continuation of moves. So we've got to be a little bit concerned with that. If I didn't know that information, I'd probably be a little bit more aggressive. But since I do know that information, I'm a little bit more hesitant. To the downside, I'd like to say we'd probably want to get below $600.07. And I'd love to see it drop to our pre-market midline of $599.81. Okay, so about a 30-cent move there. To the upside, I'm a little bit skeptical because even at the orange line, we did find a new resistance right here at $600.83. Now, Qs are putting in lower highs, so I don't like that unless the Qs could take out these lower highs and show me that they want to go up. But as far as SPY's chart goes, let's leave it at this for now. Now, because there's no price action above this white line here, our call line at $600.83, it's always advisable to wait for a close above, right? You've got to wait for a close above, okay? If you want to be aggressive, because we have price action below the put line, you know, a lot of times I'll play that with a breach. And more importantly, if the Qs at this point get below their pre-market low line, we'll call it, the problem is they don't have far to go. You'd be looking for a 25-cent drop below this line on the Qs. Now, if they could get through that, just look left, guys. You know, all these little higher lows that we put in on the way up, these are going to become potential support levels below this blue line. To the upside, I want the Qs to at least break above these lower highs that they made here, so no longer trending down. So let's just draw a trend line here. We don't want the Qs trending down if we're trying to play calls. That's for sure. If the Qs break above this trend line, you'd have to get above resistance of 524.86, and then you'd be expecting it to go up to 525.08. So you would have the opportunity for a quick call there. If we get above 524 or 525.08, we should hopefully head up to 525.22. But the Qs are not looking good for calls for me. So calls are not what I'm going to be ready for. We're also putting in essentially a downtrend here on SPY. Here's the problem I have, though. We've got a very green top 10, except for Apple. That's got to mean something, okay? It's got to mean something. Let's move these lines over real quick. I know somebody's asking me to the multi-chart. So on SPY, we'll go here. On Qs, we'll go here. Like that? We good? One minute to open. I'm going to be prepared for puts because, not because of any other reason other than lower highs. Now, if we get above those trend lines on either chart, more importantly to me is the Qs, then I've got to not do that. Okay, I've got to. I'm still on the put train unless the Qs can get below or get on the other side of that trend line. Okay. So it is almost time to open. 12 seconds. Go to the multi-chart layout. Now, I'm going to be upfront with you. If the Qs are still below that trend line and SPY breaks the call line, I'm not getting in. Okay? If the Qs can get above their call line and you want to take it aggressively at that point, then that's on you. Look at the size of that ADD candle. Holy smokes. We went from 700 to 1700. All right, so I'm not getting into these calls, not because SPY is not crossing the line, but because Qs are at resistance right now. If the Qs can push through these levels, I do believe SPY will have a much easier move to the upside. But I like the Qs more for down than I do for up. Now, they're sitting on a support line here. If ADD wasn't so madly green, I'd probably go ahead and take the risk that is puts right now. Shit is expensive. Holy moly. I like the Qs right now. They're down to the exact line that we said that they go to, that 524 level right here, and bounced right off of it. So you got to be careful here. This is why support resistance matters. Okay, will it get through that support? I don't know. Is it trying to hold that support? Yeah, it is. I'm still not a call buyer. I wish ADD was printing red because I would take the risk of puts if it was. But right now, Qs are holding that pre-market low line. This is giving me flashbacks of Friday. We are at a resistance on SPY. I can't do anything. If I do anything, it's going to be puts. And the only reason would be is because SPY is at resistance and Qs are pushing down. They're in a downtrend. And I think if I don't take the risk, I'll never take it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take the risk here on these puts and hope that the Qs move down. I'd love to see the Qs all the way down to the pink line. And if SPY gets down to that pre-market high line, you should be able to take some good profits there. So the Qs close below support and they're coming down to that 524. ADD is hitting at printing some red. So maybe it'll help move some things to the downside. That would be fantastic. And if you get the chance to put your stops in profit, which you should be able to do if you bought up there near the top, you're very comfortable. I'm already up over $100 a contract on my trade. I want a little bit more out of this. I'd like to see SPY at least down to that pre-market high line. Qs are still trying to push down, which is slightly comforting. But if SPY doesn't start coming down sooner than later, it could turn into a red trade. So let's see if the Qs could close below 524. That would be ideal. A lot of buying going on right here. Now, what I liked about my entry before, and it may end up being a mistake, was that SPY was at resistance, Qs was trying to break support, ADD was printing a red candle. If this does not work out, I'm going to take an L. I do like the Qs still trying to trend down. I mean, they're finding some little support levels here. If you want to know when you should consider getting out, well, it's probably going to be if SPY closes above this resistance here. For me, I'm going to hang on until the Qs are no longer in a downtrend. Now, they're going to be putting some pressure on this resistance line up here. I like that ADD is printing some red. So hopefully that helps us come down. Hopefully the Qs could come down a little bit. The dangerous part of what I did there was buying while the Qs were very near a support level. Let's see if we can't break support and go down. I'm obviously red in the trade at this point. See if the Qs help me out or if they become problematic. It's not looking good on the SPY side. ADD is trying to print red, which is always fun. I would not have taken these calls here, even though they worked out on SPY. And the reason is because Qs are still in a downtrend. That's not something I like to do. You guys know by now, I am not a huge fan of trading against the Qs at all. And so if they're trending down, I don't really care what SPY is doing. If SPY is trending up and the Qs are trending down, I'll either not take a trade or I'll trade with the Qs. Now, again, it could become a costly problem. I'm not denying that at all. Qs have a lot of selling going on there at this level. They're pushing right up against that trend line at the moment. Low volume, which is always never a good thing. And usually volatility is going to start dropping at some point. I'm still red, getting close to being even on these red candles when they do print. Now, there's definitely some buying going on here, and if the buyers don't give up soon, I fear that the Qs end up breaking the downtrend and continuing up, and that becomes a losing trade for me at this point. So we'll see how it goes. I'll let you know when I'm back to even. I get close every time we get these little pullbacks here. Currently down $100 a contract. So let's see what happens here. Qs, there's definitely some buying going on. I wish it was less choppy. I still like the Qs. I just need the Qs to get below 524 with a candle close, and I'd love to see the Qs get down to the pink line. That would be the ideal situation here, and hopefully ADD allows it to allow SPY to come down with it. If SPY gets down to this blue line, the pre-market high line, I'd gladly take it. I'm back into profit by $50 a contract, $100 a contract. Qs just touched the pink line. Do they got the momentum to carry us down? I'm going to put a stop loss in place. I'm now up $200 a contract. Nope, sorry. 100. 120, 130, 150, 170. And I'm going to go ahead and take my profits when the Qs or SPY is down to the blue line, guys. I just now realized it. Let me put my stops. I'm going to tighten them up. I don't want to stop out because Qs got more room to go here. Actually, they're almost down to their pre-market low here. Yeah. Qs are down to where we wanted to go. Qs are down where we wanted to go. Let's see if they can get through. Don't lick the gift horse in the mouth, guys. If you took your profits at that blue line, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Okay. I told you guys that I was hoping we would get there after I got into the trade. I was hoping that the Qs could push down. I was hoping that SPY could get through that level. Now they're on the line. Qs got to their next line. Qs are in a pretty open space here. I'm tightening up my stop a bit more now. There's no way I'm going to make anything less than good money. And yeah, I don't know. You know, SPY is almost to the put line, which is obviously a level of support. Qs got down to a pre-market halfway point. So for those of you guys who wonder if that works, I'm here to tell you that those lines are pretty crazy how well they work and how often. Now, if SPY gets below this put line here, ADD is printing red and Qs are still printing red. It's very possible that we come down to the pre-market low line. Again, is it guaranteed? Of course not. There is no guarantee. But tighten up your stops. We're on a level of support. That's what all of these things are here for. So that you know where it's likely to stop moving down or moving up. Right? That's all we're looking for by using support resistance levels, guys. So tighten them up. Take your profits if you don't want to sit in it. Hope for the best, plan for the worst. That's all. Hope for the best, plan for the worst. And I just stopped myself out of this trade because it's a nice even number. Up $300 a contract at this point. And it's struggling to get lower. Qs did close below support here. So I'm leaning more to the side that we're more likely to continue down from this point. But I don't want to push my luck. I don't want to push my luck. Okay. It looks good to the downside because the Qs finally closed below that level and ADD's printing red. So you watch. SPY is going to come down and hit our pre-market low line, at least, I think. That is a pretty strong support level down there, though. If you decide that you're going to take yourself out of the trade or you want to stay in the trade, I'm going to ask you to simply move your stops down. Simply move your stops down. Let this thing continue to run. I should have. We just touched that line. This is a strong level of support. I would not be at all upset if you take your profits here. That's you. It's your money. I wish I wouldn't have taken mine when I did, but I did it because I felt okay with it. I looked at my P&L, which was mistake number one, and said, you know what, Jimmy, you're up pretty good money on the day. Why don't you go ahead and take that? And so I did. I got out here on this support. Ultimately, it looked better to the downside. Qs had already closed below support. We were looking for them to go down to the next support. ADD was still printing red. I'm actually pretty annoyed at what I just did. Not because it's continuing down, but because everything that I would normally want to see to stay in that trade happened and was happening. For me to get out of that trade was completely unnecessary at that time. And the fact that the Qs closed below this support, I would want to try and hold on to it a little bit longer, seeing if we could get to the next line down, because I'm of the belief that we should head down to 521.40 on the Qs next. ADD is in a downtrend still. SPY might come down and just close its gap. Either way, take your profits or trail it. All right. How many of you guys are good, green, and done for the day at this point? I'm going to go ahead and post a poll. It was a beautiful trade. It took a second to get its way, to make its way to where we were hoping it would go. The put scenario worked perfectly, exactly like we would hope that it would have. If anybody's still in it, good for you. I like it to the downside. I'm hoping the Qs get down to 521.40. If that happens, SPY's probably going to close its gap and hit the pink line. If not, you have a trailing stop in. It doesn't matter. Right? There's nothing more beautiful than being in a trade that you cannot lose. Right? Of course, while we're sitting around chopping around up here, we still can lose. But once we get down into this area, you can't lose unless you don't protect some of your profits. And that's a problem. So I'm trying to remind you guys to do exactly that. Good job today, guys. Well, welcome back. Hopefully you made it through the whole thing. I really hope you guys are getting some information of value out of me sharing these recorded clips. The whole point is, well, there's a couple of points. First being that it is possible to make what feels like gambling, because it's happening so quickly, work. I don't know that somebody can be lucky 100% of the time. Now, I say 100% right now because my win rate since January is 100%. And since we started doing these, which was the beginning of this year, is 100%. Not all of them were comfortable, but every trade that I've taken this year has been justified with charts, meaning I'm having a reason for everything that I do, and I'm explaining my reasoning throughout these trades, before I get into these trades, while I'm in these trades, and all of that stuff. So I want you guys to know that this is not about guessing right. It's about taking a risk, calculated risk, based on circumstances that make me feel comfortable enough to take that risk, and then finding out if the risk was worth the reward. Because sometime, I'm going to take a losing trade eventually. It could be today. Well, it can't be today now, but it could be tomorrow. It could be the next day. It could be a week from now. I don't know. But that's not our job. Our job is to take entries because we see the things that usually allow those entries to produce a profit for us. And that's exactly the purpose of these videos. I'm not guessing. I'm seeing specific things take place, for example, on the Qs. Combining that with what is going on in ADD and a SPY chart, I'm trying to use those as probabilities for a potential win. And that is the purpose of these. I'm showing you through live examples why I'm doing what I'm doing, what to expect from the choice that I made, and if it doesn't work out, where I should consider protecting my capital. So again, if you guys find any value in these videos, please like, share, and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. YouTube is not kind to me. They don't want me in front of new people. The growth of this channel is extremely slow, but hey, it's organic, right? Not selling you flashy stuff. I'm not putting thumbnails like, oh my God, I made $10,000 today and showing you pictures of Lambos and mansions and all that stuff. That's because I don't want there to be any misconception about what you should expect if you try and become a trader for a living. Okay, it is not easy at all. Can it be done? Absolutely. I'm trying to show you that it can. Is everybody going to be able to do it? Of course they're not. But it won't be because I'm not trying to help you. All right. So again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Oh, by the way, Stella and Logan, if you happen to stumble across this video either today or sometime in the future, happy birthday. My twins turned 11 today. No, 12 today. And yeah, they're getting old quick. But thank you guys for everything. Till tomorrow, I love you. See you.